At the end of your feelings is nothing, but at the end of every principle is a promise. Behind your little feelings, it might not be absolutely nothing at the end of your little feelings, but behind every principle is a promise. And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not at your goal right now is you just all about your feelings. You all on your feelings. You don't feel like waking up. So who does? Every day you say no to your dreams, you might be pushing your dreams back a whole 6 months, a whole year. That one single day, that one day you didn't get up could have pushed your stuff back I don't know how long.
Wonder what would happen to your life. Now think about it a minute. There's a lot of things you could take from me and I could make it. You could take my suit, I got another one. You could take my car, I could get another one. You could take my house, I could get another house. But when you take my time, you have taken something from me that is totally irreplaceable. We take all kind of classes for money management. We know how to manage our money. We know how to repair our houses. We're working on our hair and our bodies and all of this kind of stuff. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. It takes time to be creative. If you had time, you would be creative. But in the absence of time and with busyness and clutter and the phone ring, you all got music playing on your phone, all kinds of stuff. And no matter what kind of song you put on it, after a while, you hate to hear it because every time you hear that sound, you know it's somebody else wanting something else from you that's taking you away from what you are gifted and created.
If you want to make your dream become reality, the people that are running at their dreams know that it's possible that you can live your dream, that it's necessary, that you're relentless, that you have a plan of action, that you are creative. The people that are living their dream are finding winners to attach themselves to. The people that are living their dreams are the people that know that if it's going to happen, it's up to them. And they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry.
Hunger is the ultimate driver. If you're hungry, you can get the strategy, you can get the answer. If you can't model it, you can find it.
Motivation gets you going. Discipline, commitment, strong habits is what gets things done. Commit once. You don't need to commit more than once. You commit once to the thing that you're going to do, and then you do it every single day. That everyday method is one of the most powerful methods for reconstructing your entire life.
When you perceive choice, you perceive motivation. You're more motivated. So the deal is, for yourself, sit back and reflect, be mindful of the choices you have, and talk about being a success seeker rather than a failure avoider. It's all how you talk, how you communicate to yourself and to others.
You just can't turn on passion. You can't just turn on the desire to execute a task. It just doesn't work that way. And honestly, that isn't even what motivate means. To motivate actually means to provide a motive, a reason why.
When you have a thing that is pulling you through because you're legitimately excited about it, that's when things start to happen. So I find that a lot of times lack of motivation has to do with not structuring your life in a way where you actually care about the outcome. So find that thing, stop judging yourself, because I think everybody at least sees a flicker of interest inside of them, something that they really find interesting and they want to at least explore deeper.
Always go to something bigger than yourself. I'm wondering if you've been defeated because you have been giving yourself wholly to something that was too small to hold you. Have you thrust yourself into a glass of water?
Yes, sir.
Have you leaped off the diving board into a cereal bowl person? Are you not guilty of immersing yourself into things that were too small to hold your vision. My problem is so many times you've thrown big ideas at small people. You've given big commitment to cereal bowl people. And you're trying to get your sight back from a source that's too small to support what you're willing to put in. Is your investment bigger than the bank? You should see the way you're looking at me. Is the reason you keep being disappointed by people is that you have wholly thrown yourself into something that was too small?
Don't let that happen. Get aggressive, be vigilant, attack, and destroy the weakness in your head. Go. Everybody wants to do work when they're feeling strong and they're feeling refreshed. But what's more important is when you actually do the work when you're feeling tired and feeling weak and feeling lazy. When you have those feelings, it's even more important to step up and get some. There are areas within myself where I cannot compromise. I have to hold the line. I am going to work hard. I am going to train hard. I am going to improve myself. I am not going to rest on my laurels. I'm going to own my mistakes and confront them. I am going to face my demons. I'm not going to give up or give out or give in. I am going to stand. I am going to maintain my self-discipline. There will be no compromise. Not now, not ever.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction.
Real work is to figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality, your gifts that you have to give with the real reason why you're here. That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to fill yourself up and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full. Now, I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid, particularly from people who say, oh, she's so full of herself. She's so full of herself. And now I embrace it. I consider it a compliment that I am full of myself. Because only when you're full, I'm overflowing, my cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself. You know, it's miraculous when you think about it.
We are busier than any other generation we have seen in the last 300 to 400 years. We are so busy. We are busier than a one-arm wallpaper hanger. We're just busy. You'll get it later. Don't worry about it. It'll hit you in a minute. We are just as busy as we can be, and we think because we're busy, we're effective. But I want you to challenge your schedule for a minute and ask yourself, are you really being effective? Or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and taxes you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness and all the chaos that goes along with busyness from being effective? Let me tell you, a bunch of scientists got together, they began to do some research, and they begin to determine that 80% of the things we do are busy things that we do in an area that is not effective, that the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really gifted at, created at, passionate about, excited to do. And the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Just to survive. crazy stuff that we're doing. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective and 20% of the things that are really effective if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do.
And when you need motivation yourself, don't look for someone to scream and yell. Don't look for someone else to give you motivation. Look at yourself and remind yourself why you are doing what you are doing. Remind yourself that this struggle, this temporary pain, this fight that you're in, this is what will make you stronger and faster and smarter and better.
Don't be upset by the results you didn't get from the work you did not do. I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be angry. I want you to be like, I didn't get the result because I didn't do the work. I didn't show up on time. I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I hit the snooze button. I made an excuse. I didn't make adjustments. I'm tired of people talking about, I want to be successful. I want to be great. Look, everybody wants to be a beast. Until it's time to do what real beasts do. And let me tell you something. That means getting up early and going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done.
If you just decide, I'm going to keep my word. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more disciplined. Find something that you can look at your life that you say, hey, I know I've got a problem in this area, being late, procrastinating, not taking care of business, being seriously not serious. I need to deal with that.
I guarantee you, if you're wondering why it is that everybody else has this and that and this, and why you don't have, I guarantee you that if you take an inventory of your actions, they equal what you're getting. Period. If you do the work consistently, if you invest in yourself consistently, 10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend, is going to pay off.
Success and failure are not giant events. They don't just show up. You don't just suddenly become successful or suddenly have this cataclysmic event that makes you fail. It may look that way. But failure comes from all the little things. It's failure to make the call. It's failure to check the books. It's failure to push yourself to do things physically that you don't want to do. And all those little failures, day after day, come together until one day some cataclysmic event happens, you blame that. That event happened because you missed all the little stuff. And success is not some overnight event. It's all these little things. Success is having a vision. Success is really seeing it, feeling it every day for strong enough reasons. You need to have some rituals, some things you do that nobody else does, and that gives you a better life than anybody else has. It comes from delivering more than anybody can imagine. All those little things add up. People go, wow, it's true in any area of your life. All the little stuff. That's where success comes from.
I don't view aggression as an outward attitude. I view aggression as an internal character trait, a fire in your mind that says, I am going to win. I'm going to fight and I'm going to battle and I'm going to use every tool I have to crush my enemy. And that's what aggression is to me. The unstoppable fighting spirit, the drive, the burning desire to achieve mission success, using every possible tool, every asset, and every strategy and tactic to bring about victory. Aggression is the will to win. And if that kind of internal and relentless aggression is your default mode, then you will win. This isn't easy for anyone. There's a price for victory. And that price is hard work and early mornings and late nights and unmitigated daily discipline in all things. The battle doesn't fight itself. You are the one that has to fight it.
You do not have to change who you are to be successful. You have to change some things about you, but you don't have to change who you are.
God created you very, very unique. I don't know if you all know this, but it's about how many people on earth? What's the number? About 7 billion? Listen to this. Do you know if 7 billion people on earth, ain't none of us got the same fingerprints? Who do that? Who can make 7 billion patterns and ain't none of them just alike? That's your God, your creator. That's how unique he made you. He made you so unique, you got your own set of fingerprints. It's probably been, I don't know, some billions of people that already died. Billions of people have died. Guess what? Ain't none of them had the same fingerprint either. God made you uniquely you.
God could have created all of us exactly alike. He could have called these angels. God chose something completely different. He made each one of us to be a very unique being. Each one of us has got our own thumbprint, our own eye print. Our DNA is unique to all of us. And not only that, if you were raised in the same family, you and your brother, you and your sister, from the same mother, yet you develop a different taste bud. It is God's choice for us to be unique. That's how unique we are.
What is your point of reference? What is your point of reference as a man? What is your point of reference as a woman? What is your point of reference as a father, a mother? What is your point of reference for love, your career, your surroundings, self-respect, your goals? What is your point of reference? You're talking to somebody out there. You have horrible taste in friends. You have horrible taste in picking boyfriends, girlfriends. You have horrible taste in trusting people. What is your point of reference? Because you're 21 and older doesn't make you a man. Because you're capable of making a child doesn't make you a mother or a father. If you witness failure all your life, you're either going to decide to break the cycle, or without you being conscious of it, you're a part of the cycle. You have become a duplicate of your mother and your father. You have become a duplicate of everything and everybody that you grew up around. Because why? That is your point of reference. That is the blueprint. You have become your mother and father without you knowing. Here's a little secret. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any type of drugs, ever. Because my life as a kid was consumed all forms of alcohol and drug abuse. It completely turned me off. I decided I don't want to be like my mom and my dad. People in my family, my boys, my homegirls, my surroundings, I want nothing to do with it. It's a conscious decision. Could have easily became a duplicate.
And I wonder how many people there are watching this message right now, and you're trying to do it like someone else. You're trying to be just like somebody else. You're just a copycat, and you're wondering, how come I feel stuck? How come I can't move forward? I got a feeling, why don't you shed off that other person's armor, and why don't you walk it out the way God called you to walk it out?
I am strong. I am talented. I am healthy, I am valuable. Those are not just positive affirmations. You just invoke a blessing on yourself. When you speak it out, you give life to what you're saying. It's not enough to just think this. You don't bless yourself by just dwelling on positive thoughts. Nothing happens until you speak. When you say, I am blessed, blessings come looking for you. When you say, I am prosperous, good breaks start heading your way. You have to say, I am confident, before you're going to feel confident. If you'll say it long enough, what happens is those words get down in your spirit. You believe what you say about yourself more than what anyone else says about you. When you hear yourself day after
They're waiting on me, haters think they gaining on me. Sitting in purple rain and folding origami. Oracles surround me, each one more astounding. Still handle my biz, just got a channel climbing to the level. The damage I really can make is a trip. Doing figure eights, are you coming back now? But it's way too late. Just trying to be grateful, just trying to be great. Yeah, and one thing it taught me is this is the moment to get it. So have faith and don't hesitate. Where my bad girls at? Bad girls at? From the front to the back, front to the front to the front to the front to the front. But it work right now, work right now. Put it work, let me see, put it work. Put it work, let me see, put it work. Work. Put it work. Never land, never let my feet touch the floor. I just flow in my zone, you can't touch us though. Keep it moving, UFO, I just got to go. I can't touch the floor. Take that, break that with a bit.
Today, I am healthy, I am talented, I am confident, I am valuable. It's changing how you see yourself. Over time, you're going to become what you're saying. You are who you are in part today because of what you've been speaking over your life.
And what you believe about what you can be, and what you believe about what you have inside of you, and what you believe about what God called you to do, and what you believe about what you're going through. That's what I'm talking about. The currency of confidence. So when you're young, you start borrowing confidence from the wrong places. You borrow confidence from sexual attractiveness. Partner after partner after partner after partner. And rather than ever being in a real relationship, the good part, you have to love somebody for who they are, not what they look like. You take this feeling of, oh, I have somebody, and you borrow the confidence of having somebody. But when you borrow confidence from the wrong places, the interest rate is ridiculous. I'm talking about when you get in a relationship where you have to compromise your values to get your needs met. Y'all, that's worse than the check cashing place. It's an interest rate. And let me tell you another thing. While I got you fired up about all the people that you kept going to because you wanted them to validate you, but they can't because they're not God. They didn't make you. They don't know you like that. And they're their own insecurities. So leave them alone and get it from God. You keep trying to borrow confidence from people who have insufficient funds. They can't do it. They can't.
As a man, my father was married to my mother for 30 years. I'll find myself looking for someone that reminds me of my mother, because that would be my point of reference. I will find myself trying to do all the things that I witnessed my father as a husband. That's my point of reference. If my father is successful, he's an entrepreneur, he's constantly grinding, starting up new companies, negotiating, and I see him inspired and motivated all the time about life. Career and trying to educate himself and further his way up the success ladder. That will become my blueprint and my point of reference for success. And I'll find myself wanting nothing more than a duplicate of my father, because that is my successful point of reference. Have you become the duplicate of your mother? Have you become a duplicate of your father? Have you become a duplicate of your parents, of your environment? See, I believe that we were all born individuals. God made me an individual. My head is not connected to anybody else. I am my own man. God made me individually me, so I can do and be and become anything I want. What is your point of reference?
Opposites in conflict. That seems to be set up for a human adventure. One contesting against the other, vying for the territory. Would there be light without darkness? We probably wouldn't call it light. What gives us the value of one is the contrast of the other. But darkness is always trying to move in to take all the territory, but if you turn on the light, its energy starts to repel darkness. Darkness begins to move away. And the brighter the light, the further away the darkness will move. If you walk into a dark room and turn on the light, the darkness is what? Gone. But here's the point to remember, not very far. The darkness seems to, yes, it's gone, but it's waiting for its chance. That if light loses its energy, darkness has a chance not to move back. There are better realistic illustrations, and that's health and illness at odds in your body. Illness trying its best to drive health into a small corner and occupy the territory. And health trying what? To push illness into a small corner. There's this contest going on. Who's going to occupy the territory? If one stays strong, the other's diminished. If the other gains in power, then the other. So what you must learn to do is cooperate with the positive side of everything in your body and your life. Sometimes we sabotage our own best interest. The body needs a banana, you send it a Coca-Cola. And the body says, what is the deal? I'm health trying to drive illness into a small corner. I ordered a banana, you send me the Coca-Cola. So the body could rightfully say what? Whose side are you on? Give us a break. We need every tool we can get to keep illness at bay. Because if we get weak, I'm telling you, it moves in, kicks the territory. So we're in the middle of this contest. Here's what it's called, opposites in conflict. Here's one of the bigger conflicts, liberty and tyranny. Liberty is the absence of tyranny. But even though tyranny is conquered, it's not very far away. The same goes on in your bloodstream. Red corpuscles to nourish like a mother and give life. White corpuscles to fight and kill like a father. White corpuscles say, just show me some infection, I'll kill him. If I don't kill him... get killed, somebody's gonna get killed in this contest, right? Good, evil, liberty, tyranny, right? Health, illness, winning and losing. There's a struggle going on. But here's the key. It's the only way, it seems, it's the only way to create a human adventure. Doesn't seem to be any other way, currently. Now, some speak of a new heaven and a new earth. Maybe the whole arrangement will be different. Could very well be, but in this current experience, it seems like to create an adventure, to create a unique human scenario, we need opposites in conflict. That's the deal. You've always got to draw a line somewhere and tell illness, hey, you can't have any. You've got to throw up the barriers, draw a line in the sea. Tyranny cannot be rehabilitated. Tyranny can only be restrained. We must play this game. We must fight this game. But here's what it creates, a great adventure. Let me give you the ultimate now. Could you win if you couldn't lose? And the answer is no, it doesn't seem like it. You couldn't call it winning. You can't win if you couldn't lose. So that's the deal now. Negative, positive. Would there be negative or positive without negative? No, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is the current setup.
The invisible is often more real than the visible. That sometimes the stuff that we collect, that we say is real, is less real than the stuff that we neglect because we can't see it. I'm talking about your state of mind. I'm talking about your relationships with others. I'm talking about the way that you process disappointment, those things. The way that you treat people who can't do anything for you, those things. There is visible kingdom world, but there is an invisible kingdom within you that is more important than the kingdom around.
Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. Don't be hanging with no jank-ass jokers that don't help you shine. The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame. There's been very few times in my life that I looked left or looked right and didn't find a person who believed and supported me. There's always been a person beside me fanning my flames. Look at your last 5 text messages. Are those people feeding your flames or dousing your fire? The people that you spend time with are going to make or break your dreams. Everybody don't deserve to be around you. Look to the people around you. Are those people throwing logs on your fire or are they pissing on it? You got to defend your light with your life.
You can't detach from yourself, and you can't see yourself. And so, how do you detach from yourself? How do you learn to do that? A good drill for this is try to imagine the way other people see you, what other people are thinking of you. One place where this happens, that definitely happened to me, is when I started getting put in charge of things. I started thinking about other people's perspectives. If you're in charge, then what kind of representation are they receiving? And if you work for someone else, it's the same questions. What does the boss see me do? What kind of representation am I making of myself to my boss? So the question becomes, how well do you represent yourself? What shortfalls do you have? Now, when you first start looking, it's like you're looking at an overgrown lawn. There are some big, obvious problems, so you do a broad, just kind of general cut of the grass. You fix some of the big, easy problems. And once you've done that, you've gotten rid of some of those big, obvious problems, you notice some more detailed problems. So you start trying to fix them.
You know, for the foreseeable future, it looks like it's been that way as long as we can remember and as long as the history tells us. So, here's what you want to do if you want the adventure. You must learn to play this game. To work with all the positive forces to defeat the negative forces as early and as soon and as much as possible. To contain the ravages of disease that want to take you early. You've got to fight back. You can't just leave it. Somebody says, well, I got my fingers crossed. Not a good philosophy. Jump on the positive side of whatever you want. See if you can't help out. Warfare in this push-shove match. That's the key. Don't neglect a new life if you started a new life. What if you said to a brand new mother, "Where is your baby?" She says, "I have no idea." You would say, "No, that isn't right." If you start a new life, you must care for it. You must protect it. You must give it life, give it nourishment. Now here's the other part. You must protect it. That's why the old wise man said, we must learn to love and hate. Oh, underline it. We must learn to love and hate. And the illustration he used was, you must learn to love good and hate evil. To deal with the weeds in your garden, you got to hate weeds. You got to hate them enough to what? Kill them. You can't say, "Well, poor weeds." Say, "No, this ain't the deal, poor weeds." Don't go soft on this stuff. You got to hate evil. You got to hate the weeds that are out to destroy your garden and rob your children of the nourishment they deserve. You got to take the life of the weeds, or they will take the life of your garden. Somebody's going to get killed. Remember? So, learn the good evil. Now, here's the greatest battle in the mind. Here's what you must not become: a victim of yourself. What is that insidious voice inside your own head that says, "You're too short, it'll never work for you, you're too tall," right? It's over for you. It's never worked for you before. What gives you any idea that it'll work for you now? You've never been able to rise up and take charge of your life. What makes you think you can do it now? There's going to be too many obstacles out there. You'll never overcome them all. What is that insidious voice? It's the same game going on inside your head that's going on in the world. Liberty and tyranny in a push-shove match. Here's what you've got to do. Cooperate with the positive side of your life and let faith drive out doubt, right? Let winning drive out losing. Let positive drive out negative. But you got to get into the contest. And why get into the contest? Because that's how you create an adventure. There is no other way. It takes both. You've got to learn to laugh. Yes, that's not what the wise man told us. You can't just learn to laugh and keep on laughing. No, that's silly. It says there's also a time cry. You've got to learn to both laugh and cry. Then it said you must be so sophisticated is not to laugh when it's time to cry. That now gives you an understanding of what life is all about. Sadness and joy, the contest, the difference. And yet it creates the adventure. It's supposed to create an adventure. But here's the adventure: to overcome the evil, to put evil in its place. Just like in your mind, you've got to stand guard at the door of your mind and see if you can't suppress, see if you can't do battle with the negative forces. Don't become a victim of yourself. Beware of the thief on the street that's after your purse, but also beware of the thief in your mind that's after your promise. See if you can't engage in this mental contest and win the day.